What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate with Gav. I'm your host, Gavin Washington, aka Gav the Realtor. And as you guys know, on Real Estate with Gav, we usually discuss real estate, finances, investing, things that have to do with wealth building. And we're also adding a new segment now. We'll be talking to small business owners throughout the area and highlighting small businesses. And for the very first small business highlight, we got none other than Moises, owner of SE Studios. What's happening, bro?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Yep, yep. So as y'all know, SE Studios is usually where we host a podcast at. Moy has helped me grow tremendously through real estate videos and also the podcast. So I thought it was, due just to have him on as the first one. For those of you that don't know, Moy and I go way back to middle school, high school days. So I was with him in the early days when he was, producing music and making beats and taking photos. And so just to see where you've come from then, man, it's a pleasure to see. So glad to have you on. We also went to college together as well. So it's been a long trip. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your journey, and what SE Studios is about.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you and I go way, way back.
Yep.
So it's pretty funny to see where we're at now as
Yes,
adults
sir.
and stuff. But yeah, graduated from Martinsburg High School with you, and then from there I went to West Virginia University, and I kind of fell into communications. I thought it was communications. It was actually communication studies.
Okay.
So it was a whole different field, and I didn't realize it. But from there was a social media course that I took, and I really, really enjoyed it. And at that time, social media was not taken as a real career. People were like, "Oh, we're just giving it to a secretary or somebody like that."
Right,
Social
right.
media was not taken seriously at all. Um, so I got made fun of a lot in college because they were like, "Oh, you're just taking a cop out degree." My degree
Yeah.
was social media marketing.
Yeah.
Um, but when I graduated, there was people were like, "Okay, social media is like legit. You actually need this in a business to be successful." So from there, I worked at a couple startups. Just trying to learn marketing and a lot of what I'm about, and what marketing entails, and really just try to develop my skill set. Started out with the social media, got into the web design, got into the videography, SEO, and now pretty much just try to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, man, you taking over the game, and also wanted to say, with the small business highlights as we're highlighting small businesses throughout the area. I'm glad I got Moises on first because a couple years from now he's probably not going to be a small business. He going to turn into go public, so I got to get him before he go too big for sure. So, but I want to talk about your origin story for a little bit, if you don't mind. Discuss a little bit about like why and how you started SE Studios because you used to work with another company and it kind of didn't work out or didn't go the way you wanted to, and you use that to fuel you into what you're doing now. And you don't have to give any names or name the
Yeah,
past
yeah.
company or anything like that, but just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so, an experience that I had when I was working at multiple companies was, um, as a well-rounded marketer, um, somebody in the company or the owners or something like that would want to be like, "Oh, well, we want to start our own marketing company, and you're pretty much going to lead it all." So from there, I'd be like, "Okay, well, like, am I going to get ownership? Am I going to, get a raise? Am I going to get more money?" And it was always like, "Oh no, like you got to put in some sweat equity," which
Hmm.
I'm okay with, but you know, it happened one too many times, and at that point, I was like, you know what? I went home and I spoke to my wife, who was incredible. She really just empowered me to take the journey. She was like, "Look, this is gonna keep happening to you. You're not gonna be truly happy," because I was freelancing on the side all the time. So I
Right,
was
right.
already running, client stuff. She's
Hmm.
like, "You're not gonna be happy until you do it. So you're gonna quit your job, you're gonna start your own company, and I'm gonna support you and do whatever you need. I'll pay the mortgage, I'll do whatever we need to do till your company becomes profitable and it grows." So I went in that day and I said, "Hey, I'm putting my 2 weeks in and I'm starting my own company."
That's a big time.
And,
That's big time.
they let me go that day. So,
Said don't come back.
I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have, any startup capital. I traded my first camera for a website.
Wow.
So I really just dove straight in, but I always felt like this is gonna be successful because I will outwork and, just do my best to grind out anything that I need to do to become, a successful business.
That's what's up, man. That's tough and inspiring as well because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that might be in the same situation now, or they might want to think about starting their business and they're just not ready to make that leap. But you can inspire people to say, hey, I did it, you can too.
Appreciate
So
that.
that's pretty cool, man. You got videography, photography, you build websites, you do SEO marketing. I mean, you're doing real estate videos and photos for clients as well. So talk about a little bit of those things and like which one do you like doing the most?
Yeah, so when I started this company, one of the things that I really wanted it to be was a one-stop shop for people. So as a business owner or a business, you could come to us and get the full suite of marketing solutions.
Right,
Because
right.
the way marketing operates is, why am I doing social media? Well, social media is going to drive more traffic to your website or it's going to
Hmm.
drive leads. So I feel like everything is going to kind of fall into place with each other. So you kind of need to understand the full scope of it. So that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to do, was make sure that we were well rounded and we could provide everything. So for example, you could come to us, you could get all your listing photos done, you could get your listing videos and branding videos done, but you could also get your headshot.
Yeah,
And then you could come here and do your podcast.
yeah,
And then we're working on a website for you now and some social media marketing. So
yeah, yeah.
it's
Basically
really,
everything.
we help you scale up so that we can offer you more services and we kind of grow with you. And that's one of the main premises that I like. And
I like that.
obviously, we have the app development side and the wedding video side too. So there's
Right, right. I
there's a
forgot
lot of
about
elements.
what.
I love it
Yeah.
all. I mean, it's just, I'm just passionate. When you do, it's cliche, but when you do what you love, you don't feel like you're working.
Amen, man. Amen. In the past year, you've really grown a lot. Like I've seen a lot more of the stuff. Like there's businesses that you work with that I didn't even know you worked with until I found out. Like I'll talk to a business, they're like, "Oh yeah, Moy does my marketing," or I'll see you pop up in the messages and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Dang, there's a company that you don't work with in the local area." So, like, what do you attribute to like your growth? Over the past couple years?
Yeah, I mean, so we're only 3 years old.
Yeah,
So, I don't think a lot of
yeah,
people know that. We've only been around for 3 years, and,
yeah.
I in my head, I know it because there's companies that have been around a lot longer than us, and they have longevity on us.
Right.
But, for me, it's really just trying to offer what I can for businesses in the area. One of the things that I think has helped was, after the 2nd year, I kind of said, "Okay, like, we've got our foundation set. People are starting to know about us. What can we do to take things to the next level?" And for me, building the studio was really one of the next steps that I felt was going to take us from this small local marketing company to
Yeah.
people realizing, okay, they're actually a bigger marketing company. They can still work with small businesses, but
Yeah.
we can work with the large corporations. We can handle things of any size.
Yeah.
And and also, I've got an amazing team of almost 5 now. They've all really came in and fit in and kind of picked up where I needed help at,
Yeah.
and they've been incredible to kind of just watch them grow and help the business as well.
That's dope. That's dope. What would you say is like the most exciting project that you're working on right now?
Ah, that's hard, man. We got a lot of cool
I
stuff.
know.
I think one of the really coolest ones that we've been working on recently is with the Berkeley County Development Authority.
I've been seeing some videos from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's really cool in the sense that we really get to showcase all of the different things we can do as far as marketing. With that contract, we're able to do videography, we're able to do website design and SEO, we're able to do the social media portion and the photography. So
Right,
it
right.
pretty much encapsulates everything that we do as a marketing company. And we're able to go to these different businesses, nonprofits, and also provide them with good marketing to
Yeah.
let them know, hey, the Development Authority is here to help you and your business in a ton of different ways in Berkeley County. So for me, that's one of the most fun ones because we're able to experiment with a lot of things that we do. We've been working on more of the vertical reels that are really popular nowadays.
Hmm.
So that's kind of really one that I'm really passionate about right now.
That's what's up. Why is digital marketing so important in today's world?
I think it's because, marketing has changed. We are now having, a mini computer in your pocket at all times
Yep.
and with, Google being the number one search engine and things like that. It's the way to market nowadays. People's attention spans are short, so you need video.
Hmm.
People are on social media, 75% of the day. So
Yeah.
you need to be learning how to do social media marketing. So it's really the way to reach people nowadays.
It
And
is.
even this new younger demographic, they're even more on TikTok all day and stuff like that. So
Right.
if you're still marketing old ways, there is still some workability with it. Billboards, radio, it works still. You can't really track it though.
Hmm.
And you're missing a whole larger segment audience. So I really just focus on trying to meet people, where they're at nowadays. And that's our main focus.
Yeah, no, I can agree and attest to that 100%. Just being because I'm relatively new in my game
Yeah, you're
too.
only like a year and
Yeah,
a half in,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, this will be my third or fourth
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
But yeah, so like I've noticed, ever since I started doing the videos and even the podcast with the engagement that's gone up with your help, of course. So yeah, definitely I've noticed that for sure.
And that's what I tell people is, it's about consistency on
Mhm.
digital. Um, when you do, 2 podcast episodes, you might not see any direct leads immediately, but
No.
your brand is out there and you wanna be top of mind. So when people think of real estate, they're like, "Oh, Gavin just did a really awesome podcast on
Yep.
that." And that's what it is, it's consistency. And that's what I tell people. If you're not seeing immediate results, you just gotta give it some time and be consistent with it.
Exactly. And I have already gotten a few leads from just a few we've done so far. So yeah, trust me, it's working. What he's saying, it's working. It's working. What would you say separates you from other firms that do what you do? Like, I don't know if there's a whole lot in our area in particular, but what do you think kind of makes you stand out?
Yeah, I mean, I work with some of the other marketing companies in the area, so I'm more about community than competition is something really big with us. So we do collaborate a lot with them, but I think one of the things that really makes us stand out is that we are able to handle your project from planning, creation, implementation to final stages. We don't need to go to somebody else and hire out for the video or the photography or
Yeah.
designing the ads or anything. We do all that in-house.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the full vision and we can walk you through the full strategic plan and show you where it's best spent, where your money's best allocated and control the creative and narrative for it. So I think that's what separates us is that all your resources are right here. You don't need to go to 4 different vendors. You just come to us and get it all done.
Right, right. So, you mentioned earlier about like how you can really scale and handle, bigger corporations and do everything you can do for them, but you also have like a lot of small businesses that you work for. Like just a couple I can think of off the top of my head that I personally know, like King's Pizza. You work with one of their
And
local ones.
Martinsburg,
Yep,
specifically the Martinsburg
the
location.
Martinsburg one. Yeah, I remember that. And if I remember correctly, I think, the barbecue spot on Edwin Miller
New
Boulevard,
Sealy's, yeah.
yeah, New Silly's
They're
Barbecue.
awesome.
I love that spot too.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, yeah, they are good. So, like, it seems like you really love working with the small businesses and helping them grow. Why is that? Is it kinda, what you're going through?
Yeah, I think, one of the issues is like these new small businesses will start up and marketing is like 75% of what you need to do as a company. You
Mhm.
could have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you're going to fail.
True.
So we really just try to help you get your feet under you and help you just take the marketing off of your plate just to get you started at least and kind of go things. And one of the funny things that I've found is kind of twofold is these business owners are so appreciative that we are willing to like do whatever to help them and get their feet off the ground that they refer us to everybody they know.
Yep.
And that's helped us tremendously because even the giant corporations, CEOs and stuff like that, they love to support small businesses. So when they go in their shop and they're like, "Oh yeah, I own this large company, but our website sucks or we're having issues with our social media marketing." Like, "Oh, we have this guy who has helped us scale our business to here." So
Right.
that's the biggest part for me is kind of seeing that, and then two, just growing with them. When they start to grow and they get more business, that becomes more business for us, and it's somebody we trust and we know really well.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
what's up. That's what's up. Now you got a new big project that you've been working on that's added something new to your business. I think it's called Pop-Up Party Solutions. Talk about that a little bit because I think you got something popping off with that.
yeah. So my wife always says this, and she's like, "There's a lot of people who say they'll do something and they just talk," and she's like, "But you actually say you're gonna do something, even if it's crazy, and you do it."
Yeah.
So this is one of those. I did silent disco one time, and I thought it
Okay.
was the most fun thing I've ever done in my life. So I was just one day I saw this giant inflatable party tent. You blow it up and you can fit 50 people. It's got neon lights in it. So I was like, man, that would be really cool to start as a business. You go to an event, blow it up, and you have a whole party tent for somebody. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I'm going to combine that with silent disco. So I started an entire new business called Pop Up Party Solutions. So we can come to an event, set up the tent, and you can do silent disco with headphones and stuff like that. And it kind of falls into our wedding business.
Okay.
It's very similar. You could rent it out for your wedding, and
Yeah.
we have the photo booth. So it's always related in some way or another.
That's what's up. Where do you like you said you're about 3 years in. Where do you think you'll be in the next 5, 10 years? As you keep growing.
Hopefully just continuing to grow as a marketing company. One of the things that, we've always done from day one is try to support a lot of nonprofits
Mhm.
and do a lot of stuff for nonprofits because they don't have the resources that everybody else does. A lot of them are volunteer based and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
So as my company continues to grow, I really want to strengthen the nonprofit branch of it. Offering, free headshots for nonprofits, a free branding video once a month, to a different nonprofit. So
I
that's
like
something
that.
I'm really passionate about in the community is helping grow and just trying to fit in where I can. And then um, just continuing to grow in this area and sponsor as many things as we can that makes sense. We're sponsoring a soccer team here soon, and hopefully
Yep.
the coach takes us to a championship, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
That's me, by the way. Hey, I already got one championship at the rec. We in there. We in there. What advice would you give to someone that is in your position right now, either at college or just coming out of college, and they're looking to get into this field?
Um, Two things. YouTube University. Um, I learned half of what I know off of YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there are so many free resources out there for you, and even one of my lead videographer, Alexi, he's
Mhm.
self-taught too. We didn't go to film school or anything like that. We taught ourselves how to do videography off of YouTube and this great course called Full Time Filmmaker online.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to just go online and research and practice and try. And then two, don't be afraid to do free stuff. I've done so much free work to try to learn how to do something or take on a new project that I wasn't comfortable with doing, but the fact that I approached it that way, it ends up turning into profitable business
Right.
later. And a lot of people, the first approach is we need to make money off of every single thing, and that's not how we approach things. If it's strategic enough, free work can be profitable,
Yep. Yep. And that's how you make connections with people too
and a
sometimes.
lot of people don't realize that.
Exactly. Yep. What advice would you give to somebody that might be looking to start a business soon? Like any things that you could say that helped you, or maybe some mistakes you might have made, or something you would change as you got started?
Yeah, I think it's definitely learn to set your foundations for your business. So I know the first thing that I did was I hired an accountant because
Okay.
I'm not good with any of books and anything like that. So that's been helpful since day one.
Okay.
Um, but two is just make sure you have contracts in place and different things like that. When I first started, I didn't have a majority of that stuff, and I've seen a lot of people they'll do work without contracts or anything like that, and then they get screwed over, they don't get paid or something like that. So that's just have your foundations in business set apart, and then James Rumsey actually has this really cool thing called the Entrepreneur Lab.
Okay.
So you can actually go there and they can walk you through how to start a business from creating a business plan, marketing, logos, all that stuff like that. So I would check that out. It's a local resource and it's awesome.
That's what's up. Now you're about to become a dad.
Yeah.
Welcome to fatherhood. Coming up soon. I think your wife is due next month, right?
Yeah, April 21st is a due date.
Oh, wow, okay, so
Yeah.
that's coming up fast. How do you think that will change you, if at all, and, will that motivate you in your business anymore?
So yeah, I've heard mixed things from people that I've spoken to. One of the things I've heard is that it makes you reprioritize everything in life to where you want to spend more time with them, and that's something. So, in my head is that I'm thinking, is that going to change how much I'm working and the scale that I'm doing?
Mhm.
But I've also heard the other end where you want to work harder because you want to provide for them as much as possible. So I think I would hopefully like to find a happy medium
Yep.
um, and as we've been growing, it's becoming easier because I do have employees to help allocate more things in my resources. But, you know, hopefully just working hard and continuing to grow the business and hopefully letting him be a part of that too when he gets older.
Yeah, yeah, I think you touched on something important there, and it's finding that happy medium. I got 2 boys now, and I think that's key because you definitely wanna create opportunities where you can spend more time with them,
Hmm.
but like you said, you also wanna, generate income and work hard for them so you can provide for them as well, but I think if you can find that happy medium where you can, spend time with them, like I'm coaching, my son in
Yeah.
sports right now, but I'm still working hard on the weekends. Sometimes I work at night or in the evenings and things like
Hmm.
that. So, but I definitely think you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out
Yeah. And
for
and
sure.
he's already inspiring me to, I'm writing my first kid's book. So,
Dope.
I'm doing a series of like children and pets and how they can learn how to, like kind of, behave and just teach how to take care of them with their parents and stuff like that. And I'm gonna
Okay.
use all my friends and their kids and stuff like that. No royalties. Um, but it's already inspiring me to do things like that. So
Got you. Got you. All right. Well, If people want to learn more about SE Studios or they want to reach out to you for their marketing needs, videography needs, whatever, you need a wedding, whatever, this guy's got you. Where can they find you and how should they reach out to you?
Yeah, so they can find us online. We're obviously on all the social platforms as a social media marketing company.
Yep, yep.
You can email us at Moises at scmarketingwv.com
Hmm.
or give us a call. We're pretty accessible. And we do have two sides, multiple sides to the business, honestly. We have the
Yes.
wedding side, which is always really popular, SC Wedding Films. We have the studio side now, so people can actually come here, rent out the podcast area. We can produce it, or they can just rent the space if they want.
Right.
Photographers can come use our area as well to rent it. We don't double book it. So when they rent out the space, it's theirs. They can feel comfortable and bring in their clients here.
Nice.
And then obviously the marketing side as well. So we have a lot of different approaches to things.
Dope, dope. All right. Well, again, before he goes public, I'm gonna get the first stock. Please let me get that. But that's SE Studios. My guy Moises is with y'all. And thanks again for tuning in with Real Estate with Gav. And as always, if you need any real estate advice, tips, buy, sell, or invest, you can reach out to me at Gav the Realtor on all social websites, GAVTHA Realtor, or give me a call, text 304-839-7040. My guy Moy, thanks for coming through,
Yeah,
bro.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Y'all stay up. Peace.